What is Cafe Mocha? Cafe Mocha is experts, celebrities.
What's up? This is Belle Biv DeVoe.
Yours truly, Idris Elba.
This is Fantasia.
I am Ian Van Zandt.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Latoya Luckett.
Music and features from a woman's perspective. Intriguing conversation, the Swag Award, Espresso, the Mocha Mix. So much more, all from a woman's perspective.
What flavor are you, baby?
This is Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha, it's Women's History Month, and we're celebrating with a throwback interview with Mrs. Obama.
We want to know, how do you do it? I mean, mom, wife, first lady.
Yes, you do it all.
How do you balance it?
Just a personal
You know what?
thing.
The truth is, we're all doing it all. You know, and I say this with all sincerity. What am I doing? I have a job. It's a high-profile job, but it's a job. Some people, a lot of women have 2, 3 jobs, right? They don't have a mother who lives with them or a cook who cooks for them, right? I'm raising my kids like so many women are raising their kids. I have a husband who supports me. There are plenty of women who are doing that all on their own. They don't have a community of people around them. So we all have, whatever you see in me, we all have it, and we're all doing it every single day. I may be a public reminder of that strength, but as my own mother says, Michelle and Barack Obama are not unique. There are millions of Michelle and Barack Obamas all over the country living wonderful lives, contributing to their communities, working hard in their jobs, raising good kids, and on and on and on. We just have to own that power. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's the best of Michelle Obama on Cafe Mocha.
I can't tell you how many kids have asked for play dates.
Yes,
You just walk up and they're like, how are your daughters? Can I come over for a play date?
Yeah, right.
And you're just like, no.
No, not today.
I wish you could.
Like more Cafe Mocha? More of the flavor you love in just minutes. Keep it right here. Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha honoring Michelle Obama for Women's History Month with a throwback interview. Lonnie Love and the First Lady keep it real when it comes to our power.
You see how the women always lead, First Lady?
That's how we do it. And we have to continue to lead, right?
Right.
We have to continue to be the voices of reason and sanity and strength in these times of growth and change. And that's why the work that you all are doing is so important, really galvanizing women to continue to know that our power is real. Our voice is one of the things I pointed out for any woman out there who's listening, who might think, well, my vote doesn't matter, what does it matter? Politics is too complicated. Rich folks run it anyway.
Right.
If we look at just one of the battleground states, North Carolina, and I could give you this example in every single battleground state. We won North Carolina last presidential election in 2008 by just 14,000 votes.
Wow.
And when you break that number down across precincts throughout that state, that's just 5 votes per precinct in the state of North Carolina. That's the margin of difference in the victory of Barack Obama in 2008. 5 votes. You hear me?
Wow.
So that means
5.
your vote really does
Matter.
count. It does count.
And it can drown out those 5 votes. That one vote can drown out any intimidation. It can drown out any big money interest. It can drown out any lobbyist. It can drown out any naysayer. But you got to use it. And if you don't use it and you sit on the sidelines, particularly as women, we don't want to be in a position where we can't complain, right? Where we can't, that we can't now push our politicians who we put in office. Because if we weren't involved at the outset, it makes it very hard for us to complain on the back end. So,
Cafe Mocha, a throwback interview with Mrs. Obama, and though the interview was in 2008, it's more important than ever for us to hold our politicians accountable and get vocal. State elections are taking place this month in California, Georgia, next month in Illinois, and state by state throughout the summer. Go to mytimetovote.com and click on the election calendar. If we want to make a statement, we have to do more than vote every 4 years. More with Michelle Obama coming up.
Don't you go anywhere. There's more Mocha on the way. This is Cafe Mocha.
Cafe Mocha is celebrating First Lady Michelle Obama since March is Women's History Month. Remember when she kicked off the Let's Move campaign? It really got Lonnie Love going.
You know what? I've been moving. That Let's Move, I lost 5.6 pounds.
That's my girl. And that's the other thing we got to own, right?
That's right.
We can do more if we feel better.
That's right.
And the first key to feeling better is for us to treat ourselves as women well. Put good food in our body, right?
That's right.
Just move a little bit. And what you will see every day, the more that you do for yourself, the better you feel and the more you can do. So I really want to urge our women to, take it slow, just do something for us every day. Drink more water, eat less fried food, eat out a little bit less, have a salad and a sandwich, walk up the steps. Just do a little bit every day and never go backwards, right? That's the key. Once you start doing something, don't ever take it away.
That's right.
Always move forward. And you just find that you have more strength, you feel better about yourself, you've got more energy, and it's a step-by-step process. You don't have to be a miracle worker, You just do a little bit every day.
It's the best of Michelle Obama on Cafe Mocha.
Most people don't know we're seeing an epidemic of childhood obesity. 1 in 3 of our kids will be overweight or obese, and we are spending billions of dollars in health care costs for preventable illnesses. And in my life, I saw how that was happening. Too busy parents, don't have time to cook, eating out too much, activity is being eliminated from our schools in many ways. The average kid is spending 7.5 hours a day in front of a screen.
You like our flavor. More music, more chat, more Cafe Mocha on the way in just minutes.
We're celebrating Women's History Month by honoring Mrs. Obama. It's Cafe Mocha. One of the biggest things at stake is our health care. Trump wants to repeal it, but what's his plan to replace it? Back in 2008, the First Lady discussed just how important Obamacare is.
Women now have access to basic preventative care with no out-of-pocket cost. I mean, things we shouldn't take for granted, like mammograms, cancer screenings, prenatal care, contraception. As mothers, we care deeply about the health of our children. Now, our kids can't get knocked off of our insurance because they have a pre-existing condition like diabetes or asthma. For our older kids, once they get out of our homes, they go to college, and we worry about how they'll be covered. Now our young people can stay on our insurance until they're 26 years old. I can't tell you the number of women that I ran into. A woman on the rope line just the other day who basically pointed to her heart, and she literally said, I just had a heart transplant, and I would be dead now if it weren't for health reform, because the only reason I could afford this treatment that saved my life was because of health reform. Those stories happen again and again and again. So health care is huge, and a woman's right to make our own decisions about our bodies and our health care.
That's right.
That is on the line. We have opponents who want to get rid of Planned Parenthood. They feel that they can make the decisions about whether or not we, when and where we have children. And I, for one, want to make sure that me and, more importantly, my daughters have control over their own reproductive health, whatever their choices are.
Coming up, what's the biggest way women give up our power? Mrs. Obama shares her theory on Cafe Mocha.
Keep us in the palm of your hands. Take us everywhere. Anytime. Download the Cafe Mocha radio app. Take us with you 24/7.
Cafe Mocha kicking off Women's History Month with our favorite First Lady, Michelle Obama. While she was on the campaign trail, she told us exactly what would happen if Trump was elected.
We've heard the other side say that they have a plan to reverse everything that this president has done, everything that Barack and I and all of us have done together. They are chomping at the bits to turn it all back, whether it's right or wrong. They just want to change it.
I have a woman question for you. How do females get the respect we deserve and have earned in the workplace?
I think we have to demand it. In a democracy like this, Angelique, the vote is what speaks volumes.
Right.
Let me help you understand how we respond to the vote. I mean, if we feel connected to a candidate, we turn up. Women, we turn out in droves. But during the midterms, Angelique, our numbers drop off.
Okay.
We don't vote in the middle of those presidential elections. That's why we have a Republican-run Congress who's basically been a major obstacle to continued progress around equal pay, work-family balance, child care, all the issues that we care about, plus, straight up, just pay equity and immigration reform and health care. We care about everything else, too.
Right.
But because we stay home on the midterms, it directly impacts the leadership of this country.
And on that note, please log on to mytimetovote.com because I know California, Georgia, parts of Virginia are voting in March. To make an impact, we have to do more than vote every 4 years. mytimetovote.com. Find out the whens, the wheres, and the whats. It's Cafe Mocha. More with Michelle Obama coming up.
Catch our flow? What? This is Cafe Mocha Radio. Radio from a woman's perspective.
Hello, is this Angelique?
Hello, it is the First Lady of the United States.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm sorry. Lonnie couldn't be here. She's taping
That's okay. Tell Lonnie I said hi. Tell her I'm not insulted that she blew me off.
She's off taping The Real today, but we have to thank you for always including Cafe Mocha in your schedule. So let's get to the election, First Lady. I have to be honest, I'm scared. We have a man here with zero political experience, points away from running our country. Why is this election so important?
Well, I think you said it. You're terrified, aren't you? Of the prospects of waking up on November the 9th to a candidate who is not the best to run this country. But here's the thing, Angelique. We are in full control of this. This is an election that if we turn out, and by we, I'm meaning minorities, young folks, women, if we turn out in the same way that we did in 2008 and 2012, Hillary Clinton will win. So that's what I want to make sure that voters understand. I mean, one of the things I've said in my speech, Hillary's done her job. She has spent her life preparing to be commander-in-chief, and she's ready on day one. I know this woman. I know her values. I know her preparation. Barack and I have seen her operate. She is going to be a phenomenal president. She's built an amazing campaign. A lot of our campaign workers are working with her on the ground. They're doing the turnout. They have a grassroots organization. The message is clear. She has raised the money. She has won all the debates. As I've told people, now it's on us.
Right.
We have to turn out, and we have to do it in the numbers that we match because, Angelique, this race is as important as electing Barack Obama.
Right.
Because this is about his legacy. It's about making sure, and we've heard the other side say that they have a plan to reverse everything that this president has done, everything that Barack and I and all of us have done together. They are chomping at the bits to turn it all back, whether it's right or wrong. They just want to change it.
We're talking to the First Lady. Yes, blacks, Hispanics, Muslims, females. We can all imagine what a Trump White House looks like. Will you share what Secretary Clinton's plan is to preserve and enhance the change that President Obama has started?
Well, absolutely. I mean, she and her husband were among the first administrations to try to pass affordable health care. Right. Barack was able to get it done. So they're going to continue to do the work to strengthen that legislation and to make sure that people continue to have health care, to make sure that women have access to birth control, that we have our mammograms paid for. Right. She's going to keep cutting taxes for working class families to balance out the inequities that are still happening in working class communities all over this country. The criminal justice reform, Angelique, is on the line here. I mean, Barack was able to start getting some things done, but you imagine what is going to happen to all the reforms that have been put in place if Hillary's opponent wins. She will continue that trajectory, and we need a president like Hillary Clinton to really do finish the job of improving our criminal justice system so that it works for everybody. The world leaders know that the United States needs a competent commander-in-chief who knows what they're doing, and the only person in this race who fits that bill is Hillary Clinton. That's why we're supporting her. That's why I've been so passionately out there, Angelique, because I know that we need this woman in the White House, and if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be on this phone making this phone call with you right now. And I want people getting out to the polls in droves. I want us to send a message. This is one of those elections where we need some message sending. You know what I'm saying?
It's Cafe Mocha. Tuesday, November 8th is the day to vote. If you have any questions, go to iwillvote.com. Everything you need is right there. More with the First Lady coming up.
We got the hit makers, trailblazers, tastemakers, and game changers. That's how we roll. This is Cafe Mocha Radio.
It's Cafe Mocha. On the line, the First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. You have been such an amazing supporter and champion for women during this election. So I have a woman question for you. How do females get the respect we deserve and have earned in the workplace?
I think we have to demand it, and we have to, in a democracy like this, Angelique, the vote is what speaks volumes.
Right.
And let me help you understand how we respond to the vote. I mean, if we feel connected to a candidate like this presidential candidate, we turn up, which is why we won the last two presidential elections. Women, we turn out in droves. But during the midterms, Angelique, our numbers drop off.
Okay.
We don't vote in the middle of those presidential elections. That's why we have a Republican-run Congress who's basically been a major obstacle to continued progress around equal pay, work-family balance, child care, all the issues that we care about, plus, straight up, just pay equity and immigration reform and health care. We care about everything else, too.
Right.
But because we stay home on the midterms, it directly impacts the leadership of this country. So that's why I'm saying if we show up, what happens in 2008, 2012 will happen again this year. If we stay home, if we're ambivalent, or if we play around with voting for a third-party candidate, which is, in my view, a no vote, then we don't use that power, right? That's one power. Now, the other power is our voice. We have an opportunity to elect the first woman president. Woo! Are you kidding me, girl? Let's just stop there. You want to talk about some power? You want to talk about one of the reasons why I'm standing on stage at this historic moment at rallies with Hillary Clinton? Because I want to be a part of that movement. I want to look my little girls in the eye and say that I did everything I could to send a message to the world that women can be leaders, that we can overcome the crap and the noise that we've heard in this election at a time where we're hearing all this, Angelique. If women are not just outraged and ready to roll up our sleeves and get in this game with our vote and then with our feet and then with our organizing and then with our voices, don't get me started.
Now, on the note of people coming out to the polls, millennials rushed out to support President Obama. They love you guys. Many of them are threatening to stay at home. Please share with the kids that this is not a popularity contest. They need to go out and vote.
Well, this is one of these things where this is their future in the balance. I mean, that's why when I look into the eyes of young people and I look at why I'm doing this, I look at the kids in college campuses and I look at kids who are my daughter's age, and I'm like, this is for you because this is your future. You know, you talk about a candidate who doesn't even believe in climate change. I mean, where are millennials? Where is the earth going to be? What position will they be if we don't get a president who believes in climate change and is combating climate change?
Thank you. Thank you, First Lady. They have the music playing in the background. We thank you for your support. You've been an inspiration.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
That means it's time for us to go.
Okay. It's like, we're getting the bell.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angelique.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay.
You keep ringing the alarm, okay?
Absolutely.
People are listening to you as much as they listen to me. So we're counting on you, babe.
All right. One mind, one vote. This is Cafe Mocha.
Like more Cafe Mocha? More of the flavor you love in just minutes. Keep it right here. Cafe Mocha.
Is this Cafe Mocha?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, it is.
Ladies, what's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning, President Obama. It's Lonnie Love, MC Light,
Hey.
and Angelique. Thank you so much for this time. We want to get right into it. First of all, welcome to Cafe Mocha, the President of the United States, Barack Obama, everybody.
It's good to talk to you guys.
Well,
Hey.
thank you, because usually we talk to Michelle, and when they said, the president wants to talk to you, I said, what did MC Light do?
Oh, you know.
Well, I was just tired of Michelle having all the fun.
Yeah.
I need to get in on that.
Absolutely. Right. Well, Mr. President, we wanted to ask, why are the midterm elections so vital? Why are they so important?
Well, I tell you what, you think about where we were 6 years ago. Economy was crashing. The financial markets were crashing. Auto industry was crashing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have now, because of the policies we put in place, dug ourselves out of a hole. Unemployment was above 10. Now it's below 6.
Mm-hmm.
We've created over 10 million new jobs. We've cut the deficit. We've increased support for students going to college. Reading scores are up, math scores are up, auto industry back.
Mm.
So we've made a lot of progress, but people are still frustrated because wages and incomes haven't gone up.
Right.
And the reason wages and incomes haven't gone up is because there are a bunch of policies we could be implementing right now, raising the minimum wage, making sure women are getting paid the same as men for doing the same work.
Yes.
Rebuilding our infrastructure. There's a bunch of stuff we could be doing that we're not doing because I've got a Congress that is more interested in politics than trying to get stuff done.
We're on the line with President Obama. It's Cafe Mocha. All month long, we've been talking about how we're getting smarter. This week, it's all about getting smarter at the polls. Make sure you go to iwillvote.com to get everything you need for voting day. More with the president coming up.
You like our flavor. More music, more chat, more Cafe Mocha on the way in just minutes.
Cafe Mocha on the line. We are talking to the president about why we all need to get out and vote. Mr. President, we all see the amazing things that you want to implement, but it gets so frustrating. The ideas get to Congress and then they're stopped dead in their tracks. So what we need to know is, how do we pick smarter? How do we elect people who are going to work with you, so we can move things forward?
I'm willing to work with anybody, but right now I need a Congress that is representing the interests of ordinary folks, single moms, working folks, people who are going to the job every day, maybe working 2 jobs, but still are having trouble making ends meet at the end of the month, giving them some help in terms of child tax credits and making sure that they can afford sending their kids to college, and making sure that they've got the opportunity to retrain for a higher paying job. And if we don't vote during midterm elections, what ends up happening is that we get a Congress that we deserve, which is one that doesn't do anything. And this is our chance to really make a big difference. But I'm going to need us voting at least at the same rates as we voted when I was on the ballot in 2008 and 2012. I won because people voted. And the same is true in terms of getting a Congress that is representing your interests. So everybody's got to get out there and vote.
Now, let me ask you, Mr. President, how do we protect ourselves on voting day? Because a lot of shenanigans, we've heard a lot of stories about armed sheriffs showing up and people getting ticketed a block from the, things going on. How do we protect ourselves so we can get to vote?
Well, first of all, in almost every state and polling place, you've got observers, monitors, lawyers who you can usually consult with. And the fact of the matter is that even with all the shenanigans that are out there, and we've got a Justice Department that's been trying to make sure that some of these states that are engaging in these practices, that they're held accountable. Even with all that, the overwhelming majority of people can vote.
Right.
And very few people get turned away. And the reason that folks end up not voting is not because of some rules, it's because they're sitting at home doing something else.
Right.
And that's just the truth. And so there are no excuses for people not voting.
Amen. President Barack Obama on the line. If you want to get smarter at the polls, log on to iwillvote.com. It literally has every deadline, every address, every bit of information you need to go out and vote. iwillvote.com. More with the president on the way.
We got the hit makers, trailblazers, tastemakers, and game changers. That's how we roll. This is Cafe Mocha Radio.
Cafe Mocha, helping you get smarter at the polls. The president, Mr. Barack Obama, is on the line. Now, sir, what do people do if they still have questions about where to go, what to bring, if they're a student?
You should go to iwillvote.com. That's a website, iwillvote.com. You can get every piece of information about what you need to vote, where your voting place is, what the rules are in your state for voting. So you go to iwillvote.com. If you are committed to voting and you are prepared, you can vote. And in a whole lot of states, we've already seen large numbers of people early vote. Now, not every, some states have a deadline that may have already passed in terms of early voting. But the truth of the matter is that it just shows people, when they decide they're going to make it their business to vote, they can get it done. Mm-hmm. And I need everybody who's listening to Cafe Mocha to say to themselves, I am going to vote this time, even though Barack's not on the ballot. Even though it's not a presidential election, I understand that we have to have a Congress that is serious about doing the right thing for working people. And the only way that happens is if we've got a high voter turnout. It's going to in states like Georgia, in states like North Carolina, in a lot of these places, the turnout's going to determine the election.
Right.
Period. I mean, if people who believe in the minimum wage, people who believe in equal pay for women, if people, who believe in rebuilding our infrastructure, if people who believe in helping young people go to college, if those folks turn out in high numbers, then we win.
Because if
folks don't turn out, then we lose. It's as simple as that.
As simple as that. Because what do you say, Mr. President, to the people that say my vote doesn't matter?
Listen, in some of these states, in Florida, where there's a big gubernatorial election going on and there's a bunch of congressional races. In the last election in 2012, which I won in that state, but basically 50, 100 votes in each precinct were the difference as to whether you won or lost. Think about that.
So little, yes.
50 votes in a precinct might flip that precinct.
That's right.
And so, it's true that sometimes your vote doesn't matter when it's a landslide.
Right.
But all these are close races.
And there's no way to tell.
One of them is a close race. And so if you vote, it will make a difference. It's a mathematical formula. It's that precise.
Well, it's early voting, and it's voting on Election Day.
And the website to get all the information you need is iwillvote.com. More with the President of the United States coming up right here on Cafe Mocha.
Catch our flow? What? This is Cafe Mocha Radio. Radio from a woman's perspective.
This is Cafe Mocha. President Barack Obama is on the line. Go ahead, Lonnie. Ask him now. Do it now.
Mr. President, we at Cafe Mocha have always been a supporter of you. We have an award called the Swag Award, and it stands for strength, wisdom, assertiveness, and genuine commitment to the community and the country. I give it to you all the time.
We celebrate you.
And this week is no different. And the reason why I want to give it to you this week is because of what you did, the simple gesture of being the hugger-in-chief when you hugged Nita Pham, who was cleared of Ebola. Why do you think, real quick, that it was important to have her come and see you right after she was declared Ebola-free?
Well, because I think there's a lot of misperceptions out there. Listen, Ebola is a very serious disease. You don't want Ebola, right? I mean, it's a serious disease, but it's hard to catch, and it's a major crisis in 3 West African countries right now. But here in the United States, we've had 1 person die of it. We've had 7 Americans who've gotten Ebola and are now Ebola-free. And you are much more likely to die from the flu this season than you are of Ebola. It is very hard to catch. It's not airborne the way the flu is. You have to be in direct contact with the bodily fluids of somebody who not only has Ebola, but is actually showing symptoms of Ebola. And so I think that it's important for people to understand this is something we have to take seriously. Mm-hmm. It's no joke, but it is also something that if we just take basic precautions and do what it is that we're supposed to be doing, we're going to be fine. And and that's what I wanted to signify when I gave that nurse a hug, because there are a whole bunch of healthcare workers out there who are being treated as if something's wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When all they're doing is treating us when we're sick, which is exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And we've got to make sure that we're not somehow discouraging the kinds of incredible service that a lot of these nurses are providing every single day.
That's right.
Well,
just being informed.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. President Barack Obama has visited Cafe Mocha.
Woo!
We still want Michelle next time, though.
I know that's right. I know that's your girl, but I appreciate you guys giving me a little time, and it is true I got a little swag.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cafe Mocha is a production of Miles Ahead Broadcasting in partnership with Compass Media. Executive producer Sheila Eldridge. For comments, booking, or more information, visit cafemocharadio.com.